and welcome everyone. You're watching the channel named as Code Gamer, and right now I think you are thinking about why is it called Code Gamer if it's only for coding, not gaming. But let me just say, if you are a YouTuber and you were getting a name for your YouTube channel, any name, just think of any name. Go type it like you right now. Think of any cool name for a YouTube channel. Just go write it on YouTube. Hello. Can I work with you? No, I'm already taken by 25 people. And then you have to make your own thing. So the only thing that nobody have actually used is Code Gamer, and that's why it's actually a good name, but it's not used, so it's pretty good for me. Okay, so let's hop into the computer and see what we're gonna be doing this course for HTML. Hello and welcome everyone. You're watching the channel named as Code Gamer, and today what we're gonna be doing is we are gonna be talking about Visual Studio Code and how to install it, and also when you open Visual Studio Code, you're gonna be learning about the things and the things. Okay, so there's a video which is gonna pop up telling you how to download Visual Studio Code on Windows. I'm not sure about Mac, but I think it's the same thing, just you choose the Mac one. And so, before we even start anything, just roll the intro. Okay, so after you learned how to actually download the thing, download Visual Studio Code, I'm sorry. Now let's start. It's supposed to come like this. Maybe the color is just different, so let's just change the color. Don't care about anything I do here. Maybe disable. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So this is what actually is gonna pop up to you. Okay, so what is new file? So new file is actually when you make a new HTML folder. You don't bring it from another folder. You don't go inside a folder and make a folder and then you put this file inside this folder. You just make a new folder and then after it you save. But we don't use it because it just doesn't fit. First of all, you gotta choose a language. So let's say I want HTML, and so I'm gonna choose HTML and I'm gonna write, but still we don't really use it. Okay. So we now know what is new file. New window is when you want to do something. So for example, you have a homework, okay? So you have a task you're doing on Visual Studio Code, and your teacher maybe or someone told you to do something really fast. But I don't want to close this file because when you actually do another one, you have to close this file. So, or maybe you will only be able to bring one file, but you're not gonna be. You will be able to close for, but you wouldn't be able to actually. So this one, and so when we have a file here, what happens is when we need a new window is when we have a task and someone tells you do it really fast. We want it really fast, and so you need to go in there and make a new window, and so there's no messing around with the other one. You're already only focused on this one, and when you play around, do whatever you want, it doesn't matter, but it would not affect this one. Okay, now second of all, now what is open file? So open file, when you already have a file, you have an HTML or CSS or that, etc. and now you want to open it. How will I open it? I don't want to open the CSS and JavaScript and HTML and all the languages that I have in one folder. No, I only want to open one thing. Maybe it's the HTML, maybe Python, maybe any language. And so I'll press on this, and then I will go and detect where is my file at. And now the same thing happens to folder, but this folder, you find a folder, and if there's things inside it, will happen is, let me show you an example. So we have here something called Airsoft, and when I open Airsoft, what will happen is that all of the things that I wrote will appear. Okay, so all of them will actually appear. Now you may know, so what I pressed on was something, so what I did was I closed the editor, and so this was actually used for like closing all the files that you have. And then there's something called close window, is when you close it from here with just Alt tool. So you press on Alt F4, and now there is something called other reason. So like when you open up a new file, so let's see. For me, I opened this file. The last file that I actually opened was this. Okay, and that's the most important thing. So the file that you already used, maybe you used one, but you don't know where is it. So you just go in there and see, man, oh yeah, I remember I used it yesterday. So you go in there and actually go into open recent, and then you find it, and then you click on it, and it's gonna open. Now let's go into something called Explorer. The Explorer is something you have to open it every time. Yes, you have to open it. Why? Because it's the thing that has all the files. For example, when I go and open a folder of mine, it's called Airsoft, what you will see is that this one has the name of the folder and the files inside it. That's what, I don't know what's a mistake in there. Oh yeah, okay, just fix it for a bit. Sorry. Okay, so that's we have it right here, and so this is the one that has the folder and the files inside it. And if you want to add a new one, you can add it from here, or if you want to add a group or folder, like you want to group things, like you want to be more better organizing your like your files and that thing. So maybe I could here make pictures, and then pictures, and then when I put in here, and then I put all the pictures out there, and then I could make a new folder, and then I will name it like that. Okay, and I will put and I will put the things that I want inside it. Now, what else except Explorer? And also the Explorer like shortcut is Control Shift E, and like here, if we go here, Control Shift E, yep, it works. Oh, now there's something, this one and this one and this one, we're not gonna be using it because, and this one maybe you don't have it because it's an extension that I deleted, and I'll tell you what's extension right now. But I'm talking about this one. Those ones you aren't gonna be using it. Maybe, I'm not sure though. You may use it, but for me personally, I don't use it, and I never used it in my entire life. And I've been learning coding for a lot of years, and I never used it. Now there's something called extensions, which is the shortcut is Control Shift X, and let's see, Control Shift X. Yep, magic happened. Okay, so what you'll have is something recommended, not install it. So install it, you aren't gonna find it. So you say, what's installed? Why do you have it and we don't? And also, why do you have this and we don't? Because their extensions is like downloaded, is like apps inside an app. So Visual Studio Code is like a phone. You have inside this phone apps to help it. Like if you have your phone, maybe you have an iPhone and you have something called Siri. What if you can actually download Siri? You don't have any Siri, so you download something called Siri, and that's okay. I know it doesn't happen, but yeah, let's say Siri does not exist except if you download it. So when you download Siri, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna be inside an app, inside your phone. So, but this is an app inside an app. So that's the thing. But does it affect anything behind this app? No, it doesn't affect anything behind this app. Sorry about this, I opened the wrong thing. Okay, so where were we? Yep, we were here. Okay, so then we know this. What's live share? Okay, let's see the one that I downloaded and the one that I recommend you to download, because I use it all the time, except live share. So I don't. If you want to, you could. If you don't want, you couldn't. It doesn't really help you with anything. Maybe some of you might find it helpful, and some of you don't. But because I don't actually use it, so I don't connect with people. So what does live share? If you actually look at its name, is sharing your folders. You say maybe it's live, maybe it's real time, sharing your folders with other people. Yep, you guessed it right. That's the same thing what happens in live share. So scientists said that if you actually have a project or something you have to do it, if you do it yourself, it's gonna take less time than when you do it with another friend or with another person. Why? Because with another person, both of you think, which takes double the time that you would take when you do it alone. But they said when you actually do it with two people or more, what happens is that the project that you made is more accurate and more effective to the other people who's listening. It's better, it's so organized, it's everything, because it's like, for example, Visual Studio Code. I know 50% of Visual Studio Code. You know 50%. We put it together, it's 100%. We are the best at this Visual Studio Code. That's what I meant by live share. You can connect with other people in real time. Now, there's something called Prettier. For me, it doesn't actually work. I don't know why, but it used to work on my old computer, but right now it doesn't work. So what is Prettier? Prettier is actually when you something called formatting. It's called formatting. So when you actually go in there, you can, like for me and for everyone, when you press on Control S, what happens is if it's there, it's not organized. They just organize it. Maybe when you press on Control S, for example, just organize it like this. Control S, it organized. Wow, I like that. Okay. So right now. Then there's something called themes, and when you actually you will know that I had these themes. The one that I actually use is Winter is Coming and Shades of Purple. If you say I don't like any of them, it hurts my eyes, or I don't like it, it's for you. You're the one who's actually gonna be using the app. So what I recommend is for you to go in theme, extensions I mean, and write theme, and then you can go all around and see the one that you actually like. Okay, now that we are done with this, how do we want to start with our first folder? So let's just go in there and then control, remember the shortcuts because it's really helpful actually, but I'm not going to be using any shortcuts. Let's put the theme because I like it with the theme, and the one that I actually use and I recommend you is Winter is Coming. And so maybe this, yep, okay. And now that we go in there, we'll have something like this. So let's say I have already folders. So some people already do this. Some people go in there and make a new folder, and just name it the channel. And also, if you see I did something wrong, you cannot make spaces in actually making a project in coding or anything, because if you actually, let's see, the blah. Okay, so enter, and now I go into Visual Studio Code, and then I go into open folder, and then I go into desktop and find the blah, and then I select the folder, and then I'll just do something really fast. You don't have to focus with me because it doesn't matter. Just gonna show you something. Index HTML. Sorry about this. I'm just because my keyboard is gonna. Just try something. It's because my hands is gonna be showing when I write on keyboard, but yeah. Okay. Index.html. And then let's just delete this one, and then move to recycle bin, and let's just put this really fast. Okay, so when you see here, we don't really need to put anything in the head and the body and everything, and I'm just explaining something really fast. And now you're supposed to open something in Google in here. How did it come here? I'll just explain in a second. Okay, so what's wrong? What is this 20? I didn't put any 20. Let's see. Am I just not seeing? Am I not seeing clear? Is there 20? No, I don't see any 20s. And that's the thing. It puts a 20 by itself, although I don't want any 20s. And that's some of you guys actually go into websites and see there's something called 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, etc. Any numbers, I'm not sure what are the numbers, or if it's only one number, I'm not sure, because I don't actually get into this trouble of it. Okay, so why does some people have these numbers but some don't? It's because they put spaces between their words, between the thing. If you actually see the dot, it just came, but doesn't matter. No, you were able to put just one dot. Will it really, like, will you see it? So let's see. What did I name it? Let's put a dot. The blah. Can you see the dot? No, for real. When you look at it, you look at it really fast. You want to see even the dot, but you have to put it in something called the D or the C, just because it doesn't put all this one thing inside it. So that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna. Sorry, I need to get this out of there. Beep, beep, and then go there and try again. Also, for most of you, why is the name so long? I only wanted one name or something. So it's actually where you save it. So when you wherever you save it, what happens is that it saves. So I saved in file in something called users, and then in users I saved it on something called Abdul, and then inside Abdul I saved in something called desktop, and then inside desktop I've saved it inside the blah, like that. So this is what actually happens. Okay, and now where we go, and what we'll make it, we will make it in something, in a folder that we actually want. So for me, when I actually go and take a folder, I just go into the D and just right click and then new, and then I make the folder. Some people just save it before and they already know. So I'm just gonna go something, a folder that I named a channel, just because I made a video. Actually, I made a video and I finished the video, but turns out I wasn't sharing screen or anything. So it was really frustrating for me. Okay, and so you wouldn't even understand any of this because. So now we didn't talk about it. Okay, so first of all, when you actually search it, shortcut is for making the first, and so when you actually saw me do this thing for the, like, when I brought the whole project was only one click, it was from me clicking on Shift 1 and then I press on Enter, and this is what happens. So what does doc type HTML mean? So this means is actually when you start a project, you say that this is HTML. So does it change anything? Kind of, but it doesn't. Okay, so it kind of and it doesn't actually. I'm not sure. If you know better than me, just go and comment in the go and comment and tell me what's the for. Just write it and it don't really matter. So, and then there's something. So okay, we know it, we know this, but where's the actual HTML folder? And so we want to gather everything inside an HTML folder, but this doesn't have this only has a start but not an end, and that's why this is not that file or folder for saving everything inside it. There's something called HTML itself. Okay, this prayer doesn't work with me. I don't know why. Maybe I made it sad. Okay, it works. Wow, it works. Okay, anyway, and so what we're gonna write is something called title. And when you actually go in there, I'm not sure if we still have it. Like, and then we go into this desktop on this app, and then we go into there and just jam it, and then open it, and then index. And if you actually see something called index.html, what is this? So if you actually go in here, we don't have a title for it. So we will name it, maybe, what do you want? Maybe you can name it Code Gamer. Sorry. We can name it Code. We can name it Code Gamer. And why is there so many things in there? Okay, and then we save, and then we start that one. And see, there's something called Code Gamer, and so we know that this is a title. It is before everything, and there is something called meta. And when you type the meta, we write is short set UTF, and then this, and then 8. What does this actually mean? So it means that when you want to support Arabic, you support it by this. So the Visual Studio Code doesn't support So that's how you support. So that's for supporting the Arabic language, okay? And so when you come in there and make a new paragraph, I'm just gonna explain all of this in the matter, but it doesn't matter right now. It supports Arabic. When you write Arabic, anything in Arabic will happen. It's supported, okay? And so we now done with the basic things. There are also one thing, it's for responsive, but I wouldn't be talking about responsive right now because in the future it's a pretty hard thing. It's not really hard, but it's a really good thing, and when you know something is pretty helpful, it means it's pretty hard. And now what we'll do is we'll start the heading. What is the heading? So what is the heading? The heading is actually okay. So now we'll start something. The heading. What? Heading is not supposed to be there. Heading is supposed to be the start. The start. So where you actually put it when you start, you don't start with something called title on that page just for you to show really fast, and so I don't actually get tired of this. Okay, and so when you have this, the head is for the head. So this is the head. This is the head. This is the head. This is the head. This is called the body. The white place is called the body, and that's why when you go in there, there's something called the head. And when you finish, and actually how to know? So you may see this one. This is the opening, and that the ending for any code. And if you see that every code has to accept meta of first and type HTML. If you see title, head, and HTML, you'll see that every one of them is copied, but there is a slash before the word. That's the code of the word. The word which is a code. So I told the computer that that's the ending of my HTML, that's the ending of my heading, that's the ending of my title, like that. And so now we are finished with the heading. What is the body that I was telling you the white place? So for example, in the body, I wanna sorry, in the body. So what I would want is I wanna write something. So there are, first of all, how do you add text? So there are different ways you can add text. I'm gonna be explaining, but the main one's the paragraph. It's called the paragraph. The shortcut for it is P, and then you press on enter, and it's gonna bring all it. Or maybe you just write this, like you just do that. You just do that. Sorry, you just do that. And most of you say, what is that? That's a comment. How do you do it? The comment is Control K C. Okay, and if we actually go there, Control C V, I'm sorry, Control C K, it will come again. Okay, and now what we will do, just let's go there. Maybe it doesn't show up to you. So what you need to do is we gotta do this. And some of you, I don't have it. Some of you don't actually have it, but let me just say it's after the M. So the first one, the one which is doing that, so I don't know if you can see it, that one is after the M, and then after that that one, and then after that one there's this one. And so that, and then you write inside a P, and which is gonna do it, and then again, and then slash, and then P, and you're almost done. Okay. And so you now know if it doesn't come to you. Now I understand. So what do we need to do? So Control CV. Let's start. What's a paragraph? So a paragraph is like a normal paragraph. You just write text on this. Sorry. This is my text. Okay. And my name is Lola. Okay. And write this is my text, and my name is Abdullah. Okay, and now sorry, I don't know why I did erase it, but yeah, if we actually go under stars, what will happen is that I'll find this text inside. Why is there mine? Didn't you write? Because I actually erased it by accident. Sorry. No, I erased it, but I'll show it to you. And actually, if you see, the name got shorter, except like when you press on this, you'll see it got shorter. And also, there's no like 20s or any number. Okay. And now, that you actually see that, you already know. And so I already told you how to add a simple text, and also told you about Visual Studio Code and how to download it, and